Hello everybody, this is another Hot Wheels Collector video. Today we are going to be reacting to the new Fast and Furious Premium Mix 4. This actually features one new casting, which is very cool. I'm giving you a kind of a little spoiler there. We also do have 3 new recolors of the cars and 1 returning recolor which has already been done in the past by the Hot Wheels team. Before we get into this reaction then, I'm going to quickly shout out Ministry of Diecast for the footage which you're about to watch. Without that footage, this video would not be possible, so I really cannot thank him enough. Make sure to check out the original video, it will be in the pinned comment of this video, as well as in the description. Anyways, that is it for the intro of this video. Now let's get into the actual reaction and showcase. Alright, so jumping straight into this reaction then, we first of all have the Toyota Supra, which is a mashup of the original Supra, which features in the first movie, and also the R34, which features in Too Fast, Too Furious. This is quite a controversial one because a lot of people don't like the fact that Hot Wheels keep mashing up different cars from the Fast and Furious movies. I'm not too fussed about them, to be honest. I don't think they're super great, but also I don't think they're too bad because it's actually quite a unique concept. But I am agreeing with a lot of people that a lot of people do think that this is just a cheap way to sell loads of different Hot Wheels cars. I do agree, and I think that it is sort of acceptable though, because yes, Hot Wheels do have the license, so they may as well use it. This car does receive top tampo, front tampo, rear tampo, and side tampo, so it gets the full tampo treatment, as you'd expect with premium cars. This car is also rolling on the 6-spoke premium Real Rider wheels, which have been molded in black plastic. This casting does not have any wing mirrors. I will mention that the interior plastic of this car is done in black, and this car appears to have a matte black base like most Hot Wheels cars nowadays. Quite an interesting one. I can't say that I hate it, but I can't say I love it. It's quite a cool one, I'm not going to lie. I quite like this concept. They did it in Mix 1 with the Skyline with the Supra livery. This one is actually new as well, a brand new recolor for the Hot Wheels team. The Land Rover Defender 110, obviously the Supra is new as well, but this one is not going to be as hyped, I don't think. I think it's going to be the peg warmer of the set, to be honest. This and the Nova here in the UK, I think are just going to stay on the pegs, although I think a lot of people might pick this thing up in the UK just because it is a Land Rover, and there's quite a big fan base around Land Rovers here in the UK. This car is painted in an army green, or what resembles an army green. It does receive wing mirrors, the casting. It also has a matte black base. It also does have side tampo, rear tampo, and front tampo. Quite a lot of detail there. It's rolling on these interesting off-road steely type wheels, which are painted in a very similar colour as the rest of the body of the car, in that kind of army green style. And of course they are Real Riders. The roof of this car is interesting because it's actually made out of plastic. I'm not sure what plastic it is because it appears that the interior plastic of this car is actually black. Yet that is some kind of weird greeny colour, so I'm not sure where that plastic comes from. I think it's actually a separate piece. Very interesting car there, nice new recolor. Alright, and next up we do have the 1970 Chevy Nova SS. This is not a new recolor for the Hot Wheels team to be doing, it's a complete and utter repeat, and that is quite annoying for experienced collectors. I haven't been collecting very long, so this is actually new for me, but for a lot of collectors, this is something that they're not very excited about, and I can't blame them, to be honest. It's done in this silver colour, does receive top tampo, side tampo, and rear tampo. It also does have a black interior, does not feature any wing mirrors. It's rolling on what appear to be 5-spoke wheels, which receive a chrome lip. And the front bumper of this car, as well as the rear bumper of this car, appear to be created through a separate piece of plastic. It's either that or the base metal, but I don't think it's the base metal. I think it is a piece of plastic which has been painted in chrome. I might be wrong on that because I don't have the car in person, so I can't tell you, but I think the base of this car is done in matte black, as with most cars. However, it might actually be in just a brushed metal colour. I don't know, to be honest. That is quite a cool car though. It does look quite nice, so I can't really complain too much because I will be picking it up probably. Next up we have a brand new casting for this case, the 1991 BMW M5 done in black. This is a very hyped car, it's a very well done casting as well. Looks phenomenal, there's quite a lot of German car hype at the moment, especially in the Hot Wheels community, so this is definitely going to be one of those cars which quickly flies off the pegs. This and the Supra, I'll be more hyped over this car because I think it looks fantastic. Done in glossy black, it does receive side tampo, top tampo, front tampo, and rear tampo. Gets the full tampo treatment. It's rolling on the 10-spoke premium Real Rider wheels, and yes, it does have wing mirrors as well, and the interior plastic appears to be black. The base metal of this car is painted in matte black as well. That's the same thing with most cars that feature in the Hot Wheels premium line. Really cool casting. It also does have a sunroof in the metal casting, door handles and everything, fuel filler cap, everything you'd need. Really well executed casting there from the Hot Wheels team. I'm a big fan of that. I think the colour choice is fantastic on that thing as well, and I love the wheel choice too. Some people would probably prefer them to be chrome wheels, but I honestly don't. I quite like them being in grey, and I think they suit the car fantastically. And finally, we do have the Lamborghini Gallardo. So, this is a brand new recolour. They've never done this recolour, but I'm not a big fan, because this is not the exact same car that featured in the movie. The one in the movie is just a regular Gallardo. This is the Gallardo Superleggera, so it has the spoiler, it has the different body kit, different front splitter. It looks totally different to the regular Gallardo. It also is newer than the regular Gallardo, so it's not accurate. Really annoying. It also, on the card art, has black, like, Superleggera striping on the door. On the model, it doesn't. Now, it's not supposed to in the Fast and Furious movie, but I don't know why it's on the card art and not on the car. It just is really inconsistent. Not a fan of that at all. This is done in a kind of Spectraflame yellow colour, very interesting. It does receive top tampo as well as rear tampo, I think, for the rear lights and the Lamborghini badge, but that's it. Barely any tamper work, not accurate to the movie, not a big fan. It does have black wheels, base is painted in matte black. These wheels do appear to be the Real Rider 1552 Outlaw wheels, which first debuted in 2018, molded in black plastic. However, I may be wrong because it's quite difficult to see in that lighting, unfortunately. That's my guess though, they do sort of look like that. But I'm not a big fan of that car. It's not accurate, there's not a whole lot of detail. Honestly, I might not pick that thing up. Initially, I actually was gonna, but after seeing it there, and seeing it on Lamley's video as well, which he did a few weeks ago, not the biggest fan of it. Unfortunately, because I was really excited for it, but it just doesn't live up to the expectation for me, and that's quite a disappointing one. If I was to pick the most disappointing premium model of this year, I think that might be one of them. It's not accurate and doesn't receive much detail. There isn't much detail missing, but also it doesn't have wing mirrors, so not a big fan of that. I've gone on a right rant about that car, but there you go. That's my least favourite out of the set now. The Land Rover was going to be, but that one is now my least favourite, I think. And that is it for that car. Now let me give you my thoughts on this entire set. So I think it's pretty decent, although I think the set before is way better. Personally, the cars that I'm interested in are the Supra and the BMW. The other ones, not so much. I was interested in the Lamborghini, but after seeing it this time and seeing it on Lamley's showcase, maybe it's not as good as we first expected it to be. It's not very accurate, doesn't receive much detail. The Nova is a repeat, I might get that one. It does seem pretty decently cool. A lot of detail on that. And the Land Rover, I'm just not feeling that one. It just doesn't do it for me, unfortunately. It might do it for some of you guys, but nah, it's not my cup of tea. I do like that car in real life, but again, I just don't really like the execution here. I don't think the green looks quite right. I think it should have been a bit darker. And I think the roof should have been done a bit darker as well. As you can see on the card art colour doesn't really match up with the actual Hot Wheel model colour. But yes, I'm going completely rampaging and ranting about cars now, because that's two of the cars now that I'm nitpicking at. But yes, the other three are quite nice. But I think for my favourite car out of the set, it's going to be that new casting BMW. I do quite like the Supra. I think it actually does suit the Skyline livery pretty nicely. I think actually this Skyline livery does suit the Supra better than the other way around, with the Skyline with the Supra livery. I do actually quite like this colour on the Supra and also the livery. And then my third favourite car is going to be the Chevy Nova. I quite like the execution of it. It's just a shame that it is not a new car and it is completely just a repeat. And then number 4 goes to the Land Rover. It's just not quite for me. I don't think the colour's quite dark enough, but it's a pretty decent car. And finally, the Lamborghini comes in last for me, simply because it's not accurate. It's not accurate to the card art. It's not accurate to the movie. It's just a bit of a mess, that car. And if they didn't have the right casting, they shouldn't have done this car. They should have picked another car from the movie franchise. There's so many other cars they could have picked, and so many other cars that people would actually prefer as well. Think of things like Suki's S2000, for example. People would kill for another premium of that, but we haven't had a premium of that forever. But there you go. So that does lead me on my score out of 10 for this set. One of this set out of 10, it's going to be getting a pretty okay, because it's got repeats. It's got cars I'm not a big fan of. 6.5 out of 10. There you go. That's a fair score in my eyes. It's pretty decent, but it's just not as good as, in my opinion, Mix 1 and the previous mix we just had, mix 3. Mix 2 was quite meh as well for me, but yeah, there you go. What did you guys think of this set? Do you like it more than me? I think some people might. Did you like it less than me? Some people might as well. It's going to be a very mixed bag of opinions on this set. People are going to love it, people are going to hate it, and then I don't think there's going to be many people in the middle. I would say I'm quite in the middle. I've got mixed feelings. I like stuff and I don't like stuff. Obviously, people are going to like something in this set. I know a lot of people love the BMW, but yeah. There's something for everyone, but there's not a whole lot that'll cater to everyone. The previous set to it, I think a lot of people liked quite a lot of the cars in it, but this one, nah. There you go. That's my thoughts on this set. So that does wrap up this video. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Remember, you can also press that notification bell so you do not miss any new uploads. Remember, you can also share this video with any friends, family, and other groups who may be interested. But remember, don't feel pressured if you don't feel like you have anybody who may be interested. You watching this video all the way to the end means so much to me, and I really do thank you for making it all the way up until this point. But anyways, that's it for this video. So I hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye, everyone.